Good evening. This is the Wednesday, March 18 meeting of the Pownal Elementary School Board of Directors. I am Donna Leap, Assistant Superintendent, and this evening I get to start the meeting because we are reorganizing tonight. So we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So at this time, I would like to introduce Clary DeRosia and Kathy Brooks. They're our Drama Club advisors. And they're here this evening with some of our Drama Club members as well as parents and friends. And I would like to invite everyone to the March 26th, 27th performance, and they're both at 7 o'clock in the evening. And we're also doing a school dress rehearsal as well on the 27th and 28th, 27th and 28th of March at 7 o'clock. And we are doing an all-school performance as well. But the title is called Rats, the Story of the Pied Piper. And with that, Mrs. DeRosia and Mrs. Brooks.
Thank you. Okay, good evening. We have a small cast this year, and I'd like to have them come up one at a time, and they can introduce themselves and tell you what grade they're in and the role they have. Go, Gary.
My name is Jeffrey, and I'm in 6th grade, and I'm the mayor.
Okay, go down in the front. That's good. Place the kid.
I'm Riley. I'm in 6th grade. I'm the Pied Piper, a rat, and townsperson.
I'm Kelsey. I'm a constable and townsperson in 6th grade.
Hi, I'm Felicity, and I'm in 6th grade, and I am a townsperson.
Okay.
I'm Morgan. I'm in 5th grade, and I play Susan. I am Autumn. I am in 5th grade, and I play Pennywinkle. I'm Reagan. I'm in 4th grade, and I play Quigley.
I am Eli, and I'm in 4th grade, and I play the narrator and the townsperson.
I am Jasmine. I am in 4th grade, and I play Lisa and Wendy.
I'm Kaylee, and I'm in 4th grade, and I play Miss Pete the Banker.
I am Jillian. I'm in 4th grade, and I'm playing Miss Lois in the librarian.
I'm Cool, and I'm in 3rd grade. I play Billy and Mr. Ripple.
I am Aurora. I am in 2nd grade, and I play a rat.
Okay, for this evening, they're going to sing for you the opening number, Hamlet.
So everybody stand up, please.
Everybody stand up.
Need your motions, okay?
We like our town of Hamlin, wouldn't you agree? The rolling hills and valleys make perfect scenery. The air is quite refreshing, the weather is sublime. A nicer place for living, you'll likely never find. We like our town of Hamlin, isn't it the best?
much. We hope to see you either Friday night or Saturday night, or both nights. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And again, to clarify, it is March 27th, 28th at 7 o'clock in the evening. I'd like to thank the parents as well for your support. And Ron Ray of Old Castle Theater came to me today and asked about the lighting, and I okayed the lighting with him, and he said it's going to be a fantastic show, so looking forward to it.
It's very original this year. We're not on the stage.
Oh,
We're at the theater in the round,
At
okay.
Old Castle Theater?
on
No, here.
the gym floor.
Gym floor. Oh, all right.
It is here at Pownal.
All right.
Great.
They always do a great job. Thank you.
I have to confess, I love coming down to your meetings because I want to see the student performances. And I read this title, Rats, the Story of the Pied Piper, and I had to come.
You had
So
to come.
I had
Well,
to
we're
come.
glad you came.
So we start our meeting this evening with reorganization of the board and appointments to the committees. So we will begin with taking nominations for the chair of the Pownal School District Board of Directors. So are there any nominations for the chair?
I nominate Cindy Brownell.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Any others?
Anyone else want to be chair?
Hearing
not.
none, all in favor?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Congratulations.
Ron, thank you.
Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we will now take nominations for vice chair. And I wanted to tell you that because Angie isn't here, my special due diligence to her is to nominate her vice chair. Do I have a second?
Does she want it?
Oh, yes.
I'll second it.
Is there anyone else? Is there any other nominations for vice chair? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. Okay, so Angie will be vice chair. Okay, now we need a clerk, and
Anybody want to be clerk?
Anybody wanna be
Anybody wanna be clerk?
Jim?
we are going to try harder this
I
year to try.
nominate Tammy Soul.
Okay, nominations for Tammy, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any other nominations for clerk? Boy, they're just jumping out of the woodwork. All right, hearing none, all those in favor of nominating Tammy, signify by raising your hand. It's unanimous. And Tammy, what I'm going to do is try a lot harder to try to get you a replacement. I appreciate you doing what you do. You do a wonderful job. And it's hard, I think, for you to be a board member, and
Sometimes.
sometimes it is. So we will try to get someone to come in and take minutes. Okay. The next one is policy. Again, Angie has been on policy, I want to say, for 10 or 12 years. She does not want policy. Can we have someone volunteer to do policy?
When does policy meet? That's
It's,
Mondays, I think it is maybe the first Monday, but occasionally the second when we bump into holidays or other events.
and the
But it's
time,
At 4:30.
4:30.
4:30.
4:30 to 6. And I would say Leon is very good at keeping the meetings in a timely manner.
Right. I don't get out until 5.
You don't get out till 5.
How about Doug?
Me? No.
Can
Is
you
that
do-
the latest? Is that the latest that the committees meet, though? I know some of them meet even earlier than that.
Some do, yes.
Policy, you mean?
Or just any committees. I know there's a lot more committees. Do they meet earlier?
3:30.
No.
That's the latest?
Who does? Who meets earlier than
There's been
4:30?
3:30. Finance.
3:30. Well, the ones I've gone to do.
Oh, which one's that?
Tech.
Oh, tech meets, oh yeah, they would be here at 3:30.
Well, not every year, the one up to the,
Central?
It's one of the later ones, is that what you mean?
Yes,
That
that's what I was
4:30 is
asking.
one of the later.
yes, the
I'll
rest,
do
the
it.
rest of them are 2, 3.
They're a little
I'll
earlier.
volunteer
Yeah.
to do policy, Cindy.
Thank you.
Are you sure, is that gonna interfere with your job, though?
Well, I'll talk.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we appoint you for policy? And try it for 1 or 2 meetings. If it doesn't work, we'll just try to get someone else.
Okay.
I do not want you to worry about losing your job, okay?
Does it have to be somebody on the board?
Well, it would be nice to represent Pownal, yes.
Or I'm thinking we can ask somebody else in pink shirts.
No,
No, I'm just saying,
It's
because
all-
board.
it's
No, it's
board
gotta be
members.
from the board.
Board
it
members.
has to be something from the board.
Yes.
There's a-
That's supposed to the way it works.
Okay,
Just
so,
asking.
so Tammy, we'll set it up that way, okay?
Okay.
And we'll definitely, anything can be reversible,
Okay.
okay? All right, food service. Who had that last year? You?
No,
Did we even meet? We didn't then. Pownal wasn't even,
no, nobody else goes to it either.
well,
They didn't meet.
They
Doug
don't
had
meet
it
too
2 years
often.
ago and just never met, right?
No, I went the year before, and it was a total waste of time.
well, it's not really a waste
They
of
don't meet
time.
once a month.
Sure it is.
do they? It's like quarterly or so.
Um,
It's
No,
not,
they met every month.
Can we, and we what, month?
Yeah, every month they met. At least they did that.
Can we find out from central office when they meet and who notifies the people? Like, in other words, you know, all right, I'll take it. So if I want to know when to meet, can you find out who does that? Who notifies the people?
Who's
we could ask Mary Lee.
been
Okay.
the past chairman, like last year? Who-
Of the food service?
Does Rick run
I
those
don't
meetings?
know.
Yes, he does.
Pembroke? Yeah.
As far- Last time we did,
Yeah.
yes.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, how about the tech committee? You're on that? You can do, will you do that?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll put Doug back on the tech committee. And then you can just let us know, or keep us updated when they have a meeting and stuff.
They never, hardly ever happen, so
Okay, well, when they do, you can bring the info back.
I do.
All right, the teacher negotiation, I'm on that one, so I might as well stay on it, unless someone else would like
I'd
it.
like to be on
You like to be on
it.
it?
Sure would.
Okay, I'm not sure how that works in the middle of it. They're gonna meet Monday.
Coming?
Yes, because they're in the process now of,
Well, everybody-
negotiations.
On March 2nd, everybody was off. No, you know.
All right, we'll put you
Sure.
on the teacher negotiation. It's
What time's the
Monday,
meet?
Monday at 3:00 at CDC. And then what happens is they meet at 4:00 with the teachers, and they're out of there by 6. They're really good about that. But from 3 to 4, the negotiating team meets.
We're in the CDC.
CDC in the assembly room. When you go in, you just turn
I
right
know where it is.
to
I
the
just
right.
wasn't sure where that's on.
Yeah.
Would you stay there also for a
That's
while?
good. Would I? No. No need to.
For one meeting?
Maybe.
Is no transition
I'll check
necessary?
with, I'll check with Tim and see if that's feasible or if not. All right, ESP, does anyone want to be in the ESP?
What is ESP?
That is the paraprofessionals, the maintenance, and the
That's negotiating.
secretaries, negotiating team. They aren't meeting this year. So actually, we don't
I don't think you need anyone.
need anyone this year. Okay, if we do, we'll come up with somebody. All right, the SVSU,
I volunteer for that again.
Angie would like to be on that.
So me and Angie, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you and Angie.
Really?
After 15 years, I'm gonna step down.
Okay. Just an appointment, but just,
But you have to promise me that when you go there, you represent Pownal.
I always do.
Okay.
You know I do.
All right, is that all of them, Donna? Did I miss?
I think so. We don't need administrator negotiations, finance committee, or, you know, that wouldn't be right now, but in the course of the year.
Right, we would.
But
We
typically,
can always
the
come back.
doesn't the chair of the SVSU pick the finance people? Anybody can go, by the way, right? To any of these meetings.
Yes.
Anybody can
Yeah.
go to any of these meetings.
I think right now the whole board is on the finance because they do the budgets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually around budget time that they, Rick
No,
usually
it's one per town.
creates.
Like this year, Cindy was on, but I went, just to be a pain, you know. But,
You can go to any of them, yeah.
But the finance this year was one per town,
Yes,
but we both went. But only her vote counted.
Right.
yeah,
But it's picked by the
I-
SVSU chair.
I think so, yeah,
So that's not ours to pick.
no. All right, so that takes care of all of them. If we missed one, somebody will tell us. All right. Is there any public comments? No, everybody shaking their head no. Nice to see you folks, by the way. All right, action items. Our treasurer's report for February, that was posted. Is there any questions on that? Hearing none, how about the consent agenda? Do I have a motion?
Unless we accept it.
Okay, and a second?
I second.
Where we're doing A and B or A?
We're on B.
Oh, there's
consent
no
agenda.
policies, okay.
All right, we need the motion is made and seconded for the consent agenda. Is there any questions on the consent agenda? No, it is wonderful. Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting it, please signify by raising your hand. All right, it's unanimous. All right, policies, oh, unfortunately, there is none. Okay. Personnel, benefits offerings? What is that? Anybody know?
Is that what Joy Cox was discussing with you? Or did she
Yeah,
discuss
we
that
made-
with you
Oh,
last
right.
week?
In a closed meeting, yeah.
Yes,
Yes, okay, all right, so, she had actually asked if we need an executive session for that, and, I told her, I think, Tammy, you were the only one that had a question on it?
Right, but I'm all set.
You're all set? Okay, so do you have the, we need a motion to accept that? Do you have that motion with you?
Oh, I don't have it with me.
That's right, the whole, was it
Right.
in the
Written up in
minutes?
motion.
Was it in last minute? Oh, there was no minutes.
No, yeah, there was, but I had it in the packet for last month, and I didn't bring it.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's not in the minutes then.
All right, I imagine it would be
No, 'cause it was
something
an
in the
executive
line
session.
of
Okay,
the,
couldn't have it in there, right?
I think she said we had
benefits for
till
the
April.
off-contract personnel.
Yeah, I think we did, yeah.
I think, yes, it's, I think, like
They
to
wanted
make a
everybody to
motion
agree
to
eventually.
accept the recommendation for the off-contract
Off-contract.
benefits as represented by
Joy.
Joy
The HR.
Cox and the HR.
Okay, did everybody hear that?
No.
Okay,
So you can put it in your words, I'm not speaking for you.
I know you're not. Okay. This is, I'm not gonna remember what you said, though.
But Cindy, we have time, right? She said we didn't have to do it at this meeting, that we could do it.
She said April. She
Well,
did say April.
But the only problem is that starting in April, she's gonna line it up, and if she doesn't get each board to approve it, then it's going to throw it off for another month, because it starts, she has to submit it in April and then move it forward.
And give
I think,
contracts.
I think we should say
Right.
in the open meeting, very generally, it's a standardization of benefits across job categories, okay? Whether
It was, yeah.
it's basically exempt, non-exempt, there's
Right,
four
it's the
there's four
off-
categories, and
off-contract
everybody has,
people.
has about the same benefits.
Reducing from 26 or 27
Some
different
huge number,
benefit
yeah,
packages
some huge
down
number.
to
Right.
a smaller
So
number of
we,
categories.
so we're voting in spirit, because there's nothing in front of us.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that we vote in giving the HR person the go-ahead, the Pownal.
Support. We
the
support the
The
concept.
concept of the.
I'd like to make a
H-
motion that we support the concept of reducing the number of benefit packages in accordance to the approximate presentation by the HR director.
Does that cover it?
Basically, we're all,
We'll get, okay, so
we're openly
motion,
saying we all like the idea,
right.
and the details we'll vote on later.
So motion has been made, and is there a second?
I'll second
All right, thank you, Doug. Motion been made and second. Is there any other discussion on this?
it. No.
Okay. I do know that if we have questions, we have the option of contacting our HR person and asking her, and she will be more than willing to give us the answer. She had another meeting tonight, and it was kind of hard to come down here, but I told her I didn't think we needed her.
No.
So all those in favor of the benefit offerings offered to us by our HR, signify by raising your hand.
Already did, yeah.
It's unanimous. Actually, we didn't. We did now.
I thought we had. All right. It's all right.
Okay. Better to be safe than sorry. All right, and that brings us to our superintendent's report.
So, I'm glad to be here, and I would just say I had the pleasure of meeting with Todd the other day and got to walk through all the classrooms here in Pownal, and it was a great pleasure to see all the excellent instruction that's going on here and some of the wonderful work students are doing. So it was a great pleasure. I want to thank the staff and Todd for welcoming me here, and I hope
Anytime.
to be back again soon. It's wonderful to be able to walk through and actually see the instruction as it's happening. I'm going to all the schools to visit and see across the district how does the instruction flow among all of our different schools. So it's great.
It must be nice to have the time to even do that,
Well,
because that's something that was,
I'm putting that right on my agenda
To
to
do
make
that.
appointments to do that, so that I get there.
Good.
So
That's-
it's very
that's
exciting,
important.
very important, and great work, it's exciting. So one other item, and I asked Jim for some help on this, because he's really been in the planning of this. The finance department is working on a plan for looking at your transportation, to come up with a plan to see what are the expenses and how to really come to a great estimate of the,
save this for Angie.
of what that involves. So this is just sort of a breakdown, and Jim, you might want to go through it with them, of the plan of action for coming up with the specifics about your transportation.
We just want to make sure that we have the outline and spec of how we're going to present it to the do-fors. If they have to make a bid, they understand exactly what's being bid, and also understand what transportations are going to be handled by the Pownal School. Right now, we have the transportation of the kids back and forth, but there's also the SVSU transportation of kids. So we want to, basically, this is our plan to come up with one spec that will either make it all inclusive, being presented to someone from the outside to bid, at the same time to give us an opportunity to know what we're costing out in Pownal that will stay in-house. This here is the game plan that we're going to be going through. We only put on here, the number, the people that would be involved at each step. We only put in, you'll see certain places where we put in Cindy and Jim, only because there was Cindy on the board chair and Jim was on the SVSU board, because it's going to be a discussion between Pownal and the SVSU to present the waiver to the state. So this here is just our game plan. There'll be more information that will be gathered as we go along within the next month, but that'll be a reasoning of coming up with the discussion in the executive session on what wages do we handle for next year.
Question. So what you're saying is, you're gonna give us how much it will cost for DeFore to do everything?
Well, let me
How much it
rephrase
does-
it. A cost of how much it would be if we bid it out. I'm really not sure how it would be bid out, but we're going to present it to do-fors, and then we'll give you a cost of what it would be for in-house.
With the cost is in-house.
Say that once more?
With the cost is in-house, not what it would be. There is a cost for in-house.
Well,
we
we're
know
going to
that.
come up with a cost for next year,
Okay.
in-house.
Let me ask this question. Is this so-called contract going out, is this a 1 year? Do they do it every year?
I think right now it would be a add-on to the current contract, and then it would be bid out accordingly with all the other districts once that contract comes up for expiration.
That doesn't answer my question, though. Do we currently does the SU have a 1 year or multiple year with DuFore?
They have multiple years.
It's a multiple year?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure what year we're in right now. I think there's one more year.
Okay, I don't know.
Have a question, Cindy?
Yes.
I want to be very, very clear on this. We're being asked, and it's our job as a board and the SVSU to determine which is more cost-effective. Are running our own buses or hiring an outsider to force, okay? Is that what we're doing here? We're just determining which costs more.
We're determining the two different costs. That's correct.
So we're gonna have a Pownal running gate cost $10 and DeFore running gate cost whatever the dollars is.
Right.
So all this comes down to two numbers.
That's correct. If you
Because
notice
that-
down at the bottom,
Number 5.
number 5 down at the bottom.
Okay. Because the fellow from the state, you know, we all know it's what was the word he uses, but that it works. We do a good job. That our bus transportation is excellent, and everybody loves it.
Right, okay, but this,
Efficient.
we're not talking just dollars.
So this is the
because-
dollar part.
Well,
This
for
is the
us,
dollar part, right.
finance, it will be
We
just
have
dollars.
to
This is the
come up with a
dollar.
dollar number.
Absolutely.
Part of it. The other part, we're all, I mean, it's hands down. No one disagrees that it's not outstanding.
Are we gonna have the opportunity to just look at dollars or efficiency?
It's both.
Effectiveness?
For
both.
our purpose finance, it'll be dollars. As to a discussion between Pownal and the SVS board as to how to present the waiver in would be anything other than dollars.
So that's where we have to
There was
make a
two
really
words they kept using,
strong
remember?
point.
There was two words. One was money and one wasn't
Efficient-
money.
Efficiency and effectiveness.
Yeah, efficiency and effectiveness. So the effectiveness, I mean,
So.
no one's disagreeing with us. That's
All
not
right,
effective.
I just don't want to miss getting on the train. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because
Well,
this
that's
is a
why
big issue.
That's why we're starting this now and going slowly to make sure that we all understand.
Because all
what-
I see here is dollars.
Yeah.
That's all
And
it
to
is.
me,
But the petition is both. This is part of the petition.
This is the initial part to come up with the cost. As to the other parts, that's got to still be a discussion after coming up with the cost to make sure it's all put together in a presentation to the state that is understood and in agreement with the panel board and the SBSU.
Jim, do you feel the cost will be comparable? Because you're looking at a several-year contract for Dufour and a one-year. Budget
That's
for-
why we're going through this whole process here, that we have to meet with
Because-
Todd, the
and-
principal, and Wendy in special ed to make sure that we know exactly what transportations are being handled now. If the SVSU is handling some of the transportation now, and you feel you want to bring that into this Pownal handling it, then we have to make sure we understand that, and that's why we're going through this on a slow basis.
that is one of the reasons why we want to purchase
Right.
our
Mhm.
minibus.
Right.
And we don't want to lose sight of that.
Which comes into the cost of the bus and all of that. So that's why we're trying to do a slowly piece here of what are the wages gonna be? What is the spec gonna be that we're gonna present send it out for bid? Or what is the spec gonna be that we're gonna bid as Pownal doing it themselves? There may be some items that won't be handled by Pownal that would have to continue in the SU or somewhere else if the drivers are not available or anything like that. This is what we have to touch base on.
Okay, so I can understand the first section is gonna be just Rick, Jim, and Todd. Okay? And then the sped portion, again, I think even the second part, or even the first part, I think it should come back. The board should be involved in that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want no surprises.
Oh, no, no,
I
no
don't like
problem.
surprises. No, and I don't want to say, oh, well, we had that meeting and this is what we decided. And I think, because this is a big issue, this is,
Right. If you want to add on that number, on the, actually, if you want to add a name to each one of those, you're more than welcome.
yes, I'm gonna add my name as chair.
Mhm.
Does the board, does the board agree to that?
Yeah. Good.
I think we need to be involved in every aspect of this. And when we have to present it to the SU, Tammy, maybe I will look towards you to help me write that.
Sure.
I mean, I know what I want to say, I'm just not that good at compiling.
Could you look at
Because
the
we have a lot of stuff.
So number 6, analyze and compare cost. Then it's report to the SVSU. Shouldn't that be report to us before the SVSU?
Well, you're involved in that. Your name's on that. In other words, you're
No,
gonna be able
no,
to.
I'm saying the board, we're saying report to this. Shouldn't number 6, even though you and I are on there, that we should report to this board and have this board look at the cost before the SVSU board? It's just it's a matter
That's
of,
fine.
Right.
That's fine.
That's why
Yeah.
we're discussing it, if you want something added to
Yep.
the process.
after number 6,
I agree with that.
then we put it on this board's agenda.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I
Okay,
think
and
each
so-
section
And then we
can
vote
be
whether
brought
to
back to
send it
this
to the
board.
SVSU for them to,
What's the time frame you're looking at?
Well, we're trying to move quickly on this, but on a slow base.
I was just gonna
Yes,
say.
we're doing it very
Waste
slowly,
makes
but we
waste.
want to just get, like, we'll
The
have.
change will be next year, am I correct on that?
It'll be
This year's
effective
already
July
decided.
July 1st.
Yeah. This year's
16.
decided. Yes, 16.
No, 15.
No, 15.
15.
15 is physical end of this year, yes.
so we're out of time, okay.
No, we're not.
We're not out of time,
You got till July.
no. Because when the contract comes up, they do it, well, they said they have a multiple, but if it changes, it'll change for July 1.
Correct.
Right.
One big statement I want to make. Okay, I haven't read much on it in the last couple of weeks, but if the supervisory union doesn't want it, they don't have to take it, right? They can decide. They can say, we'll contract with Pownal. That's still a possibility, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have to present our case to the SU board. And our case is gonna be in strong to determine that we wanna keep our buses and our drivers.
Yeah.
That's what but we have to prove to the SU board. Okay?
So we're caving on that. We're caving.
We aren't
saying
caving on
that
anything.
they have the power to do this. We're saying that.
The SU board is the one that's going to determine whether we can ask for a waiver. Okay? But we have to present our facts to them. It's almost like going to court.
Okay.
So we have to be,
But just so I'm clear, because I want to understand. So we don't actually have to apply for a waiver if the SU board contracted with us, correct? I mean, like, he said you could contract with one company or several companies, or?
You got to prove that it still has to meet the
It still has
standards.
to, yeah.
It'll have to go out for bid.
the
Is
SU
that, am I
board.
correct on that?
Yeah,
Yes.
the
You have to
SU
bid
board.
against
We can be
can
one,
use
we can be
two.
one of the bidders,
Yes.
is what I understand, am I correct?
Right,
Yes.
yes.
And the
So-
state's gonna have criteria of what they'll accept and what they won't, the way I understand it. The guy stood right in front of us and said, his favorite expression, well, that's kept saying to us, what he was saying is, the chances aren't good.
You don't listen to that. He was just here to tell us what the law was. The law is not set in stone. Okay, that was already given in one of the slips from the, I think it was Rebecca Holcomb. So you can't give up.
I don't know about that.
You can't.
No, that law is set in
I already told
stone.
Mr. Colkeen, we are not going into this thing negative. We have to be positive. And we positively know we want to keep our buses. We just have to prove that we can.
And that's what this process is about.
And that's what this process
Is coming
is.
up with a financial comparison. It's just finding out the facts so that whatever we compare for your expenses, if we're going to bid from another company, you have to know how they compare and that you're comparing
Is that the
apples
person?
to apples.
Is there anybody else around that could bid?
What, to bid?
Well, it's open for bid, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would
Yeah,
think
who
it would
else,
be
who else around to bid on? Is there another one?
Not that I know of, but
No,
I
it's usually
think,
just due for.
yeah, I think right now.
Okay, just wondering, that's
It
all.
would just be added on to the due for
Well, I
contract.
understand, if there was somebody else that did this. I haven't seen any buses, but I just wondered.
Well, in North Adams they used to be, but I don't think they do it anymore.
Well, Williamstown usually do four.
Yeah, no, I'm saying there's,
I don't know what North Adams does.
either way, I just want to make sure we're not just talking dollars.
This is the process here for us for financial dollars. When you get down to number 6, and as Jim put in there to the board, actually 6.5, it will be your point of adding to the dollars, your comments to bring to the SVSU board.
Okay, and you will, when one is done, you'll let me know?
Yes.
Okay, please keep me posted on this, or I'm gonna be moving in with you.
Whoa.
That's how strong we feel about keeping our buses.
Okay,
All right. Is that all you have, ma'am?
that's all I
Well,
have.
okay, can you point out that we did, it does say you're gonna bring us up to date on the education bill. The official agenda says superintendent's report update on education bill.
Well, they have passed the 361 that includes the pieces that are most important here, the cap on funding.
Did it pass, or is it
It's
just,
only
it
at-
came out
in
of
the House,
committee?
yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it only
Committee.
came out of committee, so,
It got out of one committee, going to another.
Yes.
yeah. So I think
Finance, I
we're,
believe.
And they're
If I'm
still
mistaken.
talking about many changes to it, so I think
Yes.
it's premature to really go into the details of it, but they were proposing a cap of 2%, and then last I heard, that has come down to 1.5, or, so there are changes being made. And the bill about, that's also in the bill about consolidation, is also under discussion with many different variables to that. So I think it's a little premature to discuss it, because it will be going through many changes as it's going through the process.
And I'm not sure, do all of you get the email from the Vermont School Board Association?
Yes.
Okay, and because Stephen Dale had asked that all the board members notify the legislators and let them know we're not happy with the cap. So I think that's important. We need to pass our word on to them and let them know that that's, because it's not going to be good for us.
No, and we met with all the area superintendents today. They were at the SVSU, and they were discussing how destructive that will be to the schools.
For a cap,
Because
I'm sure.
Yeah, it will really be damaging to our schools. So keep an eye on that, and the number that they put in that percentage of the cap is critical. So.
Absolutely. Yes, there's always something. Okay, thank you very much for
Okay.
your words of wisdom, ma'am. All right, now we'll go to our principal's report.
So just a couple items I wanted to bring to everyone's attention. SVSU Career Week is April 6th through the 10th, and each day we have planned activities here at Pownal. As in the past, one of the days we'll have guest speakers in to talk about the career choice that they made, and kind of motivate kids about careers. Throughout the week, each day, again, we have an activity. There's a college career dress-up day. There's a decorate your door contest for career week as well. So looking forward to that week. As in the past, we always seem to represent Career Week very well for the SVSU. A little bit more laid back this year, though, because we do have the upcoming SBAC tests starting on March the 30th, and that window goes through mid-June. But we're starting with third grade math the week of the 30th, and the next week will be fourth grade math and fifth grade math, and each week a different grade level will be testing for SBAC. And the way that test is set up, there's a computer assisted test one day that will take up to an hour and a half or 2 hours. Another day there's a classroom activity that is a lesson for all students within the classroom, followed by another day of a performance task where kids have to go back on the computer, and it's again questions related to that classroom activity that was taught the day before, and that's around a 2-hour computer activity. So each week a different grade level will be tested either in math or English language arts. So with the stress of SBAC coming up, we laid back a little bit on Career Week. We're still doing it, but not as in-depth this year. I think the only other thing I wanted to mention, we will be doing an off-campus drill again this year, and we're looking at June the 16th. And again, that is public. We will be sending home notification of that, blocking off 7 for us to travel over to the Pownal Valley Fire Department.
June 16th.
So I think that's it.
Okay, I noticed, I watched the Shasberry board the other night too, and one of the things they asked is the different testing that's done in the school. If I'm sure the board would be interested in knowing what test is now being given, how many, and what do you expect to get from those tests?
Okay. We
Is
can
that
definitely
something the
do
board
that.
would be interested in knowing?
Sure.
I just think it would be important because I just feel like I'm in the dark. I just hear, well, we're gonna test for this and that.
Mhm.
So,
Well, there's sure plenty of tests. Yes, there's common assessments within the regular grade level classrooms that teachers give locally. SVSU-wide, we do the MAPS testing, measures of academic progress 3 times a year, and that's in the fall, the winter, and the spring. We definitely use MAPS to track the progress of our students in math and reading, and we take a look and a deeper look at what we're teaching our students and what are the gaps and what more do we need to teach in what area. This last staff meeting, we dug a little bit deeper into our winter maps, and I asked each grade level to pick out a reading area to write a SMART goal to which they could see if the intervention that they're putting in place to improve that area is improved by looking at the MAPS scores in the spring. So MAPS, we definitely use those as far as the data to see where the kids are and to see where we need to focus our teaching. We also test students periodically throughout the year with our Ames Web, and what that is a fluency for math and for reading, and again, that measures fluency and how many words a minute a child could read, how many problems a child finishes within a certain amount of time, and fluency is an indicator of how well a student can read later on, as well as the math portion of that. So, I mean, it does seem like we're testing a lot, and we do test a lot, but there's some mandates, and then there's some local tests that
Well,
our
that was
students.
my personal concern, was are we over testing? And what are the?
Well, I know we have some teachers in the audience
I
tonight
mean,
as well,
is
and I
it-
think, their heads are shaking and our heads are shaking. And
Well, I
Donna,
think
if
it
you want to just mention maybe a little bit of
Sure.
what we may be
Sure.
leading to.
Well, I would just comment on what you said, and you gave a very nice explanation. We sort of look at triangulating the information we get about each student. So we have formative assessments, which are the assessments given to them in the classroom. And then we have normed assessments, which are like the MAP and Ames Web that Todd was describing, that we do as a benchmark, which means we do it in the fall and the spring and the winter to monitor student progress toward meeting the educational goals at the grade levels. And then there's the summative assessment. This year is the SBAC, but before it was NECAP. So those are the 3 levels of testing that we look at, so that we are monitoring student assessment. And I think we always do try to make them, like your comments about the transportation, we like them to be efficient and effective. And we're always watching to make sure that we're not adding things on. I think we do have a comprehensive assessment plan that is what is expected, what are sort of the non-negotiable assessments across the SU and all of the schools, so that we know how the students are doing everywhere. And that's sent out to the principals and everyone in the school every year. So that would describe what all the different tests are, and I'd be happy to send that to you.
That could
Because
be
it
a
really
good-
is
a good
great,
document
it's
for
a
the
great
board.
summary at every
would.
grade level, what is expected.
I guess I'm just concerned that, and I don't know what the testing is, but I'm just kind of concerned that we're not like overlapping, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Testing this, and then all of a sudden, well, we gotta test the same thing under a different test. You know, I guess that's my only concern.
We're pretty careful about that. In fact, we're investigating ways that maybe we can
Cut back.
align things a little differently. We're looking at a different testing system that, no one wants to hear about changing that right now, but our Ames Web tests are going to be changed next year anyway, because they're moving all their systems to the cloud, which will mean everyone will have to be retrained to do that assessment. So if that's going to happen, we're using this window of opportunity to say, well, are there things we could do that would be more efficient
Efficient.
and user-friendly, that would maybe serve more than one purpose? So we're investigating that.
Well, that's good.
It's hard with every time there's a change, like with SBAC, we're always more aware of the testing cycle, and sometimes it does take a little bit longer when people are learning how to do it. But in the long run, I think that SBAC, this year we're sort of walking through to get
Getting
it
used to
done.
it.
But I think as everyone learns, about it. Even some of the schools that have done it are saying, oh, you know, what a relief. We're seeing it now, and it's
Yeah.
not such a big chore once you go through it once, so.
Well, that, we'd appreciate it if we could get a
Sure,
synopsis of
I'd be
the
happy to
testing.
send that to you and keep an eye on the changes coming in the future.
All right.
Cindy,
Are you working? Yes.
I have one non-academic question for Todd. This is the nicest it's ever felt in this room as far as the ambient temperature. What's going on with the heating system? This is nice.
It's good, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Time to keep up the work.
You know, Kevin is really keeping an eye on the temperatures of classrooms, and that computer system seems to be working well now. I don't know whether there's going to be any more adjustments needed to be made, but I think overall,
It's good.
it is.
Perfect.
It is
And the
good.
teachers, everybody's kind of happy or
And
generally
when
happy?
when they're not, they sure let
They
us
know,
know,
yeah.
you know, which is good because.
That's a loaded question. You don't
No,
want to
no,
go
as
there.
far as the temperature. 'cause
Yeah, no.
It's been crazy in here for
Kevin's
years.
notified, there was a section down here in kindergarten that we had to relocate a couple classrooms for a day. Everyone was very flexible, but
put
there
'em
was.
outside?
But there was a unit that,
20.
there was a fan that needed to be replaced, and that was replaced, and.
Good.
But it's also the hot water heater that's not being used off the furnace anymore.
Yeah, I think
It's-
that's big.
Oh, they changed that.
Oh, yes, this is what.
Oh,
Does
good.
everybody agree it's nice in here tonight?
Yeah,
Very nice.
First time in forever.
I still
feel.
think it's a little warm, but
I agree with Todd.
No, it's-
I agree with Todd, a little warm.
my house is at 58, so.
It's a little warm, I agree with
Okay.
you.
I had talked, I know this time of year, we used to ask Rich to give us a list, his wish list for our summer jobs. So I asked Todd if he would invite Kevin to our next board meeting with a list of what he would like to do this summer. I do believe all the windows are done. I'm not 100% sure, but he's going to check with Kevin. Then he's going to let us know how many doors are left. My suggestion to either you, Doug, or Jim, or Doug and Jim, if you want to get in touch with Kevin and maybe go over the list before our next meeting, you know, be like an extra pair of ears for him. And that way he'll bring the list to us next month, and it'd be early enough that we can take a look at it and see which direction we want to go.
Has anything been done with the gym doors? I know town meeting day,
They were frozen.
No, the
Uh,
sidewalk.
Yeah, they are functional now.
Ice got 'em.
It's
Yeah.
frost, right, frost heaves. That's why we couldn't open them.
So they're fixed.
Yeah, they're back. We didn't do anything to fix them. I could think the weather.
Yeah.
It was ice that
Was
night, I
cooperative.
believe, if I'm not mistaken.
The
it was
one I
ice.
looked at was heave, was pretty
Yeah.
well heaved.
Yes, the frost in them, but I don't remember that ever happening.
Not in the
It's
years.
never
Oh.
been this cold.
Not
Well,
for a
this
long
has
time.
been, yeah,
Not
this
for a
is,
long
winter.
time.
this has been a long winter.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, so that takes care of our summer projects. In our mailbox today, we got a big thank you. I'll read it and then pass it on. And it's to our Pownal Elementary School Board. Thank you for all that you do to help us have such a wonderful school and great education. We are lucky to have all of you. Loved second grade students in Mrs. Hunt's class. And I want to add P.S. Help us keep our buses. It's not on there, but I thought I would add that. So
Second grade?
that's very nice of them. Thank you very
Nice,
much
nice.
for saying that. They
That
did a
is
nice
nice.
job, yes,
That's awesome.
yes.
And I
Okay,
know, Cindy, you had mentioned, and you always do toward the end, our April meeting, we'll have to set that date.
Yes,
Oh,
it's been a
right,
reminder
we
too.
have. That's right, it's vacation, isn't it?
Vacation.
Oh, yes. Normally it would be April 15th. Okay. And we will not have a meeting on vacation week. So what's the board's pleasure? Do you want to have it the week before or the week after? Which would be 8 or 22?
Doesn't care.
Does it matter to anyone?
No matter me.
Or you
Well,
want to
there's
do?
5 Wednesdays in April. So if we could have it on the 22nd.
The 22nd, I was gonna say the 20,
You won't
it's Earth
be
Day.
able to have it on a Wednesday, well, or at least you should check, because there will be 2 other board meetings on that night already. Whoever is regularly scheduled,
Oh, the
SVSU is a-
SVSU,
SVSU or,
yeah, MAU's always with the,
yeah, it'll be SVSU.
it'll be the SVSU. Theirs is Wednesday.
Well, there wouldn't be
What
one
about-
the 29th then?
No,
Anywhere?
not if there's 5.
There is 5, yeah. We go the 29th?
That keeps it simple.
And then anything that has to be signed prior to that, if it's too late, 5 weeks. Tammy, is that okay with you, the
It's good with me,
29th?
yeah.
Doug?
It's fine.
All right, so why don't we shoot
As
for
far as I know.
the 29th at 5:30? And so we will let our gentlemen know from Cat TV, it'll be the 29th at 5:30. Do I have to call Cat TV, or will you remember that? Okay, you're good, thank you.
He is good.
All right, so thank you for bringing that up. I forgot April was going to be. And then you'll ask Kevin
I will.
to come in then.
And I believe the
his list.
ski club will be attending that meeting.
Oh, the snow will be gone by then.
They want to say
think?
thank you and, yep.
I think they want to invite us skiing.
We hope it will be.
Anybody can come. We welcome everybody. I mean, we have a couple chairs if somebody wants to come. All right, we have the budget status report, and then we have the student enrollment for March. I do need a small, short executive session. I dismissed it at the top, but we need to bring it in down at the bottom. So if there's no other business to come before the board, we'll sign the warrants. Look at, he's looking at me like you didn't do that yet. And then we can adjourn for our executive session. I try to write like the doctor, but, okay, can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, move into executive session.
20 after 6.
It's still 2 o'clock.
Short meeting.